Well, hello, baby. Oh, look at this light shining on me. Just back home from the gym. Went there with my dad. Boom. Amazing. He had his Popeye vest on because my dad looks a bit like Popeye and he's built like him. Great workout. Walked Benji this morning. Playing football today with my old teachers. They have a staff football team. And I'm going to Harrogate to play football. Busy day today, and I'm going out later today. Tomorrow, doing a park run, meeting Joey, meeting a few other people. It's going to be a wild one, having a little get together with people. Wow, 2 in the live, 4 likes. That's hugely connected to my code where I said Washington would beat the Bears and they'd both have a 2-4 record for the season. Wait until you hear this code. It's going to blow your nose off, baby. So I'm going to meet, like I said, I've got a gathering tomorrow with all my family. I'm going to meet a guy called Ben, do a 5K. He's going to do the Yorkshire Marathon tomorrow. Joey, see what's going on with Divine Living UK, Divine Feminine Living UK. How dare I miss the feminine part out? Yeah, so I'm going to hit you with a lot of knowledge here. I'm going to show you all that the NFL is scripted entertainment and it's legally sports entertainment, and it has been for many decades, not just recently. So, hey, John. Hey, Ren and Payne, baby. VJ Legends. The NFL this year has been so beyond obviously rigged so far this season. It's crazy. NFL trying to expand. Well, the NFL's been like this for the last couple of years. I ain't a guy who grew up with the NFL. I don't know how it was 10, 15 years ago, but when I moved to the US, I watched the odd game, watched the Super Bowl, didn't really pay much attention, didn't really understand it. And then I got into it a lot more, and it's got to be the most rigged sport there is. It's hard because there's so many of them. But the amount of games in the NFL where it goes to the last play or a team's dominating the first half and then forget how to play in the second half. I think the best example is probably the Chiefs and Mahomes against the Bengals last year. That's up there for me with an absolute joke with what happened. But it's every week, isn't it? This stuff's going on. I'll briefly go over the Man United game and explain why that was an absolute joke. I had them to win, and I said they would win when 85 minutes were on the clock, and it was 0-0. Thankfully, people in my community took them at 3-1, 4-1. Unlucky Thomas Lockwood, who literally clicked on Man United at plus 500, and it's suspended because they scored about 5 seconds after he clicked it, which is a bit of a nightmare. 13 in the live, 4 likes, guys. That's when Kobe Bryant retired. So, yeah, rugby's a decent sport, to be fair. Like, when you watch rugby league, I'm not saying it's not all predetermined by a code and this, that, and the other, but at least with rugby league, like, you feel like they're doing it for the right reasons. Like, they love the sport. There's not a lot of money involved in it. They're incredible athletes. Seems to be more camaraderie. They're not as egotistical. You don't see them diving around. So I can see why you like rugby. I used to love rugby league. I just don't watch any sports anymore. But I play them. So, hey, Happy Face Man, Johnny G, Aaron, Michael, how you doing? Yes, Adam, lad. You're busy before heading back to Mexico and hopefully meet you over there next year, keeping the faith. Mate, you're more than welcome. I'd love you to come visit me. I am ready to go back. I have had a wonderful time here. I'm still having a wonderful time here. But at some point, I have to head back. And I think when I head back there, I'm going to have a real awareness of what I want. Do I really want to be in Mexico? Do I want to be back here? I think once I get back there, I'll realize I want to be there. But the goal, who knows about end times? Who knows what's going on with the world, the mark of the beast, all of that stuff. My goal is to get here every year. And again, I don't want to be too consumed about what might happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, this may happen. Nah, my goal is to be coming here every year like I've done this year. That's the goal. But we'll see what happens with that. So, in regards to the NFL, let's focus on this first. So, the American Professional Football Conference, it was formed on August the 20th, 1920. And it became the American Professional Football Association on September the 17th, 1920. That, by the way, is Mahomes' birthday. Okay? September the 17th. And more teams joined. And then on June the 24th, which is, by the way, Lionel Messi's birthday and the anniversary of Freemasonry being founded, June the 24th, 1922, the APFA changed its name to the National Football League for your NFL. And I've told you this now, that all these major sports go by three-worded abbreviations because they're all owned by the same people. This illusion of choice and competition. No, all these franchises are owned by the same people. I'll explain why Man United won yesterday and why they left it late, and how it's connected to Tom Brady, and how it's connected to the Buccaneers, and how the owners of Man United are the Glazers who own the Buccaneers. It is why Ronaldo got that hat-trick against Tottenham in a 3-2 win, whilst the GOAT Brady witnessed it. 3-2. Brady retired the 32nd day of the year. There's 32 teams in the NFL. There's going to be 32 teams in the World Cup. So Brady, out of nowhere, he witnessed Ronaldo's hat-trick in the 3-2 win against Tottenham. And of course, it was all about the GOATs. So it's all connected. I've shown it better than anyone, I would say at this point, that everything's connected. And Brady and Ronaldo are not just connected because of the GOAT connection. Their numbers are connected. And they're both married to blokes as well. So, again, professional sport is entertainment. It's sports entertainment, just like the WWE. All right? It's an activity engaged to entertain the public and to distract the public, to take the energy, and more often than not, for those who gamble, take their money as well. So I still get comments from people saying, hey, your work's good, but how can you say the NFL's rigged? There's no way. Too many people would have to be involved. No, not that many need to be involved at all when you actually break it all down. The officials, yeah, they have to be involved, and it's been proven in all these sports that the officials have demonstrated corruption, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, soccer. It goes on and on and on. I reckon the top quarterbacks know, the superstars are aware of it, and maybe a couple of other stars. Then the rest of them, when you think about it in the NFL, when you really think about half of the players, if not more than half of the players, they barely do anything. They're just blocking and stuff like that. And at any point, flag, 10 yards, this, that, and the other. So again, there's a reason why these officials wear black and white, which is the Freemason colors, why the checkerboard's black and white. It's undeniably rigged or corrupt or whatever it may be. You see all the satanic celebrations in all the sports. I wish more people were aware of that. I just did a post about Mbappe, Neymar, Ramos, Ronaldo, all pretty much doing the same satanic poses. It goes on in the NFL all the time. The same celebrations that the Hollywood stars do, that the musicians do, that politicians do, they're all doing the same ones because they worship Lucifer, and they're all on Team Lucifer. They're not against each other. They're not competing. Like, think about when you had Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. You thought they were going at each other. They were competing. Owned by the same people. Worshipping the same Lord, which is Lucifer. So I'm going to go over why I had Washington to beat Chicago yesterday. Both teams were pretty much even money. And I'm going to show you how this game between Washington and Chicago was all about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, like so many of these games are, like I've been saying for 2 years. And thankfully, more people are seeing it now. So I'm going to read it out word for word why I said Washington would win. And again, the majority of people were messaging me saying Chicago are winning, Chicago are winning. And I always see that as a good sign when everyone's telling me the opposite of what I'm saying. So listen to this. It's absolutely wild. Washington did win this game. They won it 12-7. All right? 12-7. And you rearrange those numbers, you can get 217, which is Michael Jordan's birthday. Now, check this out. Check this out. This was also connected to Bear Bryant, who died on 126, just like Kobe Bryant. It was the Chicago Bears. It's not a coincidence they're both 2-4 now. So I'll read out my pre-code. And this is why, again, I don't do this to make people rich. I share the knowledge, and I know people got on Washington when they were down 7-3. You learn how big that number is and what it represents. And they ended up winning the game 12-7, which is 19 total points. 19 is the 8th prime, which was Kobe's original number. And then he wore 24, and 8 + 8 + 8 is 24. And both teams' records now are 2-4. Queen died on 8-9, 24th prime. So this was my pre-code. This may be a huge Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant ritual, and for that I like Washington Commanders to win. The game is 238 days after Michael Jordan's birthday. In Gematria, guys, Michael Jordan equals 238, and Kobe Bryant was born on 23/8, the 23rd of August. I said if Washington win, then both teams will have a 2-4 record, Kobe's jersey number. Washington can stay on 24 all-time losses to Chicago when you include the playoffs. Washington coach can stay on 24 all-time losses with Washington. Michael Jordan played for Chicago Bulls and Washington Wizards. That's why he was so connected. I wasn't just throwing out random numbers. Michael Jordan played for Chicago Bulls and Washington Wizards, and this was Chicago Bears against Washington Commanders. The game was on 45 date numerology, and if you recall, when MJ had that ritual when he went to go play baseball, 45 is a huge number with baseball. It's a 9th triangular number. There's 9 innings in baseball. He wore number 45 at one point for Chicago, and this game was a span of 4 months and 5 days before his birthday, and the game was on 45 date numerology. The 4 + 5 is 9. And Michael Jordan, he wore number 23, which is the 9th prime. And when he represented the Olympics when he represented the US in the Olympics in 1984, the year LeBron James was born, he was wearing the number 9 jersey for the United States, because it's all coded. It's all coded. If you haven't watched my Michael Jordan video, 369, check it out. So this game was played on 10/13, and there's 10 months and 13 days before Michael Jordan and Carson Wentz, his birthdays. He's the quarterback for Washington. 10 months and 13 days between the birthdays, and the game was on 10/13. All right? Wentz, by the way, shares the same birthday as LeBron James, who's so synced with Michael Jordan and Kobe. Tiger Woods also has the same birthday as Wentz and LeBron James. So the game was on 10/13. 10 + 13 is 23. MJ and LeBron wore number 23. Washington got their 23rd all-time regular season win versus Chicago. 9th prime, 23 for MJ. Washington coach stayed on 23 regular season losses with Washington. The one loss he got was against Brady's Bucks. 10/13 is like 113. In Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 113. Michael Jordan equals 113. Kobe was drafted round 1, pick 13, 113. He made his NBA debut November the 3rd, 11/3, 113. He wrote a poem called Dear Basketball, gets you 113. The National Basketball Association in Gematria gets you 113. 113 is the 30th prime. It's why Washington were winning 3-0 at halftime, like 30, and why there's 32 teams in the NBA, 30 teams in the NBA. 113, the 30th prime. Don't forget Michael Jordan inducted Kobe Bryant into the NBA Hall of Fame on the 15th of May, 2021. That 135th day of the year, which gets you your 9. 135 gets you 9. Kobe won 135 playoff games, scored 40+ points 135 times. So, of course, he gets inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame by the GOAT on the 135th day of the year. MJ was drafted round 1, pick 3, wasn't even first choice pick. And Washington got their 13th road win versus Chicago. The last time these two teams met, Washington won, scoring 41 points. Kobe died at 41. 41's the 13th prime. His daughter Gianna died at age 13. And Washington's quarterback got his 91st regular season. No, it was his 91st regular season game. And the Washington coach stayed on 91 career losses. 91's the 13th triangular number. And it played out the way I thought it was going to play out. And all the nines, if you actually look at the scoreboard, Washington were losing this game going into the fourth. But what did they do in the fourth? They won 9-0 for another 9. Okay. They got 3 points in the second, 9 points in the fourth. Of course, they win it. They get the points in the second and the fourth quarters, and now both teams are 2-4 for the season. And 3 points in the second, 9 points in the fourth, like 3-9. Who got the winning goal for Man United? Number 39, Scott McTominay. All right, that was a big Pope ritual, what went on in that game. Again, well done to everyone who got United, plus 300, plus 400. The coach, guys, of this Omenoi, whatever they're called, is Neil Francis Lennon. He's so connected to Pope Francis. That's why he coached Celtic and did so well. He was also born in 71. Told you the other day, Liverpool beat Rangers 7-1. It was connected to the Ibrox disaster, which was in 71. The year Neil Lennon was born, who hates Rangers. And we know how old Dalglish is, who witnessed the Hillsborough disaster and the Ibrox disaster. He's 71. So, again, Neil Francis Lennon. Who got the winning goal? McTominay. Scottish right Freemasonry. He wears 39, which is 3 times 13, 313. Pope Francis became the Pope on 313. So Neil Francis Lennon's heart was broken after losing to United. There was no way United were losing the game. It's why, again, people were so confident to bet on them in play. That's where you win money. If you bet, you win money in play, not pre-game. Obviously, you're not going to bet on United. They were 1-40. You had to put £40 to win a pound on them. Yet they won 1-0 with a 93rd minute winner, which is a reflection of 39. So it's a joke. United, 4 games in the Europa League, 3 wins. It was all connected to Brady. You might laugh, but I prove it day in, day out. Brady won Super Bowl 55, all right, at age 43. Man United, 4 games, 3 wins. All right. They have 3 wins, 1 loss, 9 points, 3-1-9. Brady won Super Bowl 55, 31-9. He retired 319 days before Pope Francis's birthday. That's why United, 3 wins, 1 loss, 9 points. All right. How many Super Bowls has Brady played in? 10. Why do you think it was 1-0? Like 10. Another 1-0 for Ten Hag. Hey, Bernie Mac. Hey, Unknown. Hey, Aaron. How we doing? Anita. Good morning, Willie. I better not say that too loud. It's like I'm talking to my penis. Woo-woo! Guys, 1/4 at most to meet their numbers and whoever they are shoving in the face. Yeah. Again, guys, Tom Brady's 44. And nobody's even questioning it. Still thinking he's going to win the Super Bowl. No, he isn't. Study how big the number 73 is, and you'll see why Brady's not winning it. Barcelona have an owl on the shirt. Again, that's connected to secret societies. When you study the owl, the wise owl, the owl that can see in the dark, they're all about the light, aren't they? Goodbye, Anita. So, again, a perfect code there. I'm showing you how it's all synced up, how Brady's synced with Ronaldo. I'm showing you here how the NFL is completely rigged and it's legally sports entertainment, which means they can legally determine the outcome when you do your research. Yet people are so in denial of so many things. I just pull out straight facts with things like this. I back up what I say with numbers, and people still say it's not corrupt. It's sports entertainment, guys. All right? It's a big show. That's why they say at the end of it, I hope you enjoyed the production. It's pro wrestling on turf. All right? These outcomes are heavily manipulated. And if you think none of the players know what's going on, I think you're naive. I think if you think all of them know what's going on, you're also naive. There's not a chance they all know, and they don't all need to know. I've told you that. The majority of the people that play in these NFL games, they barely do anything. And I think there's demons involved. I've said all of this. I think there's demons involved. That's why someone like Brady, who wasn't that athletic, who was the 199th pick, who was selected in the 6th round, has more Super Bowl rings than any franchise. How he's got to 10 Super Bowls. So to get there, like they come through college. So they're getting these, in general, incredibly talented athletes that come through. And then when they go to the NFL, I don't know what contract they're signing. I don't know what meetings they're attending. I don't know. I wasn't a professional athlete. Should have been, but I wasn't. But so in the NFL, what the average career is a couple of years. These players know that. They're probably willing to do anything. That's why a lot of these star athletes in these sports, NFL, NBA, baseball, whatever it is, they go bankrupt. A lot of them take their own lives as well and suffer from depression, chronic depression. So what do they offer them? All right, we'll give you a career, and then if you want, we'll let you be a coach, and if you want, we'll let you be a pundit, but you got to do this, or basically you're done. What are you going to do? They'll probably tell them that. What are you going to do without us? So they'll be like, all right, and they get used to a certain lifestyle and certain money coming in and being idolized that they're probably willing to do pretty much anything to stay there. All right, like the whole draft is a joke, and these salary caps is a lie. Like they're going on about fair play with like PSG and everything. Guys, they've got Neymar, they've got Ramos, they've got Mbappe, they've got Verratti, they've got the best goalkeeper in the world, but they push this fair play for all. It's absolute nonsense, and I've told you they're not getting what you think they get. United won for their 3rd win of the group to go to 9 points. Again, another 39. Number 39, McTominay scored. Was his first goal in 26 games for Man United, for his 13th goal at Old Trafford and his 13th win in the Europa League. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, I missed that. 3rd win, 9 points. He wears number 39. So I was with my mate, Stephen Henderson, great guy. We played darts last night. He made me 2 steak pies, peas, carrots, chips and gravy. It was unbelievable. We had an amazing time because I grew up with him. We reminisced. And he put the game on for like the last 15 minutes. And he was like, you think United have got this? I was like, they're winning the game. He's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, but the keeper's having a great game. I said, what, number 23, the 9th prime? He went, oh, here we go. I went, yeah, number 23. Look at the jerseys. And he started noticing them. I said, why? Why in the PSG Benfica game were both the goalkeepers wearing 99? Well, maybe they both like that number. Wait, they both like number 99. Why are they not number 1 like they used to be? 99 is 9-11. It's 9 times 11. And I was like, look at this guy. Look who they're bringing on here. What a ridiculous number. And he was like, fair enough. Yeah, it did used to be 1 to 11. I was like, yeah, why did they change it? Because the numbers have a say in the outcome. And you'll see that as soon as United's opponent yesterday brought on number 42, the beast reigns for 42 months. It was the Red Devils. Go look and check the statistics. They brought on number 42, and then shortly after, United scored. To get a 1-0 win, Satan gets you 10. Satan gets you 55, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number. It's why Red Devils gets you 55, and their mascot, Fred the Red, wears number 55. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 Hag, why I told you a year before he would go to United. As I told you, Ericsson would go there right after his cardiac arrest, and people laughed at me. But I'm used to that now. I get the last laugh 99.9% of the time. So, for another 42, if you break down the 2 legs United against this Omnia, what score did it finish? What was the first leg, guys? 3-2? Yeah? Second leg, 1-0. So United over 2 legs beat them 4-2. And that happened right after Neil Francis Lennon brought on number 42 and they had to zoom in on his shirt. And I said that to my mate, who I love to bits. I said, well, they're just introducing him to the game. I said, why do they always have to zoom into the back of the number? Why can't they zoom on his face and just tell us his name? Why did they have to zoom into that 42? They tell you, again, when I was like pretty obsessed with gambling, I saw all the clues. I could see what they were doing. I would, like in football, I'd be like, okay, he's bringing him off for this. I'm going to add those numbers up. It's that prime. That's what's happening. 5 minutes later, that's why people thought I was a mystic who watched games with me. I said, this is going to happen now, watch. Because the numbers are magic. And when you become aware of that, you almost technically become a magician yourself. You do. Fine British cuisine, yeah, the steak pie, gravy, peas. Because it's freezing, you want that type of food inside of you, don't you? I'm excited today, guys, to play this football game. All my old teachers, I'm still in touch with them. That's the connection I had with my teachers. Like, they must have been teaching me about 20 years ago, and I'm still super close with them all. So if you're going to have a bet today, get on the illusion to probably bang a hat-trick, to be honest with you, or maybe more. Nicosia's goals against became 3-9 in the group. That's tremendous, mate. See, it just... Yeah, you're right. You're right. And 4 games, 4 losses, 4 horsemen. That'll mean if they've got the 3 and 9, that means their goal difference is -6 for Saden. I'll look over some Premier League games this weekend, maybe after my football game. I've not decided what I'm doing tonight because I've got loads of stuff tomorrow. I think it'd be silly if I go out and drink tonight, but I've been invited out. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about that. And I've said in these games like Arsenal, they're beating some team called Bold or something, 1-0. What's that all about? And of course it's Saka, who I told you at the beginning of the season would probably be Arsenal's best player and he'd get the award for England's best player. And he did. And I would say this season he's probably been the best player. Or at least that's what the pundits tell you, or the stats may tell you. It just becomes so clear, guys. Don't you want to learn this knowledge at a high level? I want to give a big shout out to, I think he's really improved. There's a guy on my Twitter and he keeps sending me his codes because he's definitely improving and he obviously wants my opinion. It's called Maverick X. I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, mate. Because at the beginning, you didn't really have a clue what you were doing and now you're finding amazing finds. So keep doing it. Well done. The more of us that see this, the better. I told you, I don't want to be the guy who can do it, just the illusion. I want all of us to be at a high level that we can see this. Like, imagine we all got together one time and watched a game. Between us, we'd have a right laugh seeing what was going down. We'd just call it play-by-play. I've done it. I've called the NBA play-by-play so many times. He's gonna make a 3. He's gonna miss. He's gonna rebound. Like I would say what was gonna happen in front of people, and have a bit of fun with that, to be honest. But I don't watch the games anymore, so I don't do it. And again, is it the best team that wins the Super Bowl? It's not, is it? It's not the best team. It should be, but it's a joke. It's why Brady could win a Super Bowl when his team were 25 points down in the Super Bowl. That game was on 2-5, by the way, Ronaldo's birthday. They were 25 points down in a Super Bowl on 2-5 against the Falcons, the Patriots against the Falcons. Falcons in Gematria is 25. And they still won. And it's just so easy for people to say it was just Brady's mentality, just the GOAT. Nah, it's not the players, is it? If you're the Falcons in this game, I'm going back here, I think it was Super Bowl 51. You're at the Falcons, you're in the Super Bowl, so you've had an amazing season. You must have consistently been winning games to make a Super Bowl. All right, it's not just luck where you've won one game, you've made it to the Super Bowl. You're there. You're 25 points up. You should be like beaming with confidence if it was legit. All right. You should be flowing. You should be in your element. You should be feeling indestructible 25 points up, pro athletes. And you lose. You don't think that was a ritual where it had to be Brady coming back from 25? It had to be for the ritual to be fulfilled. Or do you just think that the Patriots just out of nowhere flicked a switch and became like the most incredible team in the world, and then the Falcons couldn't play football anymore? You've got to ask yourself these questions if you're sitting on the fence with my work. You don't have to understand what I do because it's hard to comprehend. It's difficult. You have to have a high level of intelligence, and not everyone has that. But I sat with my mate last night. I said, mate, I don't want to get into all the numbers with you because I know it irritates you. It's the last thing I want to do. Now, I don't bring it up anymore unless I'm asked. I said, all you've got to do is ask yourself this. How is a team like Man United, who are worth supposedly 713 million, that's their squad value, 713 million, drawing 0-0 after 90 minutes with a team that's worth 16 million? So Omania are worth 16 million, their squad. Man United is supposedly 713 million. You have to ask yourself, how on earth were Man United 0-0 for 93 minutes with a team that's worth 16 million when Ronaldo's supposedly getting $500,000 a week? You don't need my gematria. I don't have to show you how good I am at this and what I am at calling stuff before they happen. I don't have to do that anymore. Okay? You can say it was Neil Lennon, brilliant. He set them up really well. The goalkeeper had a great performance. It just wasn't United's night. You can fall for that nonsense for the rest of your life if you want. Or you can accept it was a ritual and it had to finish 1-0 and it had to be McTominay who scored at the time he scored. It had to be that way, whether the players knew it or not. I don't believe for a second that the players are in control of what goes on the pitch anymore. Not for a second. I don't believe they said, all right, Sancho, you're going to pick it up. You're going to beat the fullback. You're going to cut it back to McTominay. McTominay, you're going to control it with the inside of your foot and just rifle it into the corner. All right, Gaffer, got it. They can't do that. It's not at that level. But there is a chance that they do know that it was going to finish 1-0. And the Gaffer said, go out there. It's finishing 1-0. Just go play. That's all you need to know. All right? I think these top managers are wizards, magicians. Your Ten Hags, your Artetas, your Guardiolas, your Klopps. I believe it. And if you don't believe in magic at this point, then again, you're never going to get it. You think I'm just saying that man's doing this and that it's just Freemasons and they're planning it weeks before and they already know what's going to happen weeks before and they sit down and have board meetings about it and Harry Kane speaking to Son before the game. Nah. But you can see in the celebrations that you know who they worship. And I've shown that as well as any. Well, I guess Red Pill Monkey's done a better job than me with the symbolism. Good morning, Divine Feminine Living UK. I was speaking about you earlier. Hope you're well. The 6079 is here. And Detroit Aaron, some phenomenal coders in the chat here. Detroit Aaron likes the Cowboys. I don't, to be honest with you. But again, it's all opinion when it comes to this. The Cowboys had an exceptional riddle last year, like unbelievable riddle last year, and they got beat in the first game of the playoffs. I don't like Dallas. I think they won't let Dallas win. You know how much that state is obsessed with football. They're not going to give it to them. They've got the Texas Longhorns for your Devil Horns, don't they, as well, the college. Hey, Adam, on my break at work and thought I'd jump in for a few. Much love, Jamie Clark, baby JC. Same initials as Jesus Christ. Bookies no Verstappen is odds on 2-5. There's your 25 again. Is number 33 Verstappen. And Hamilton's 44. That's your 77. Again, it shows you the power of the numbers. It really does. They have energy to them. And I don't know how it's all being done. I don't know if I'll ever get it. But again, all the number 7s seem to be unbelievable. Look at like in the NFL, Brady number 12, Aaron Rodgers number 12. The two best quarterbacks over the last, 10 years, both wearing number 12. There's got to be something to it at this point. All right? The 7s, the 10s, the 9s, and we'll just say, oh, it's just you attacking players and this, that, and the other. But there's something deep to the numbers, like undeniably deep. So it's all synced, in it. Everything's synced. And again, it doesn't necessarily matter if the players know or not, or the coaches. I'm just showing every day that it's all synced. I just think they do know. The top ones. I think the officials know. Officials are always pointing, aren't they? Point to the spot, all these point celebrations. It is very Masonic, like undeniably when you study the symbolism with Masonry. But just the referees have to know. They do. Oh, who you got? I'm not going to give that away. I've got to save some stuff for my website. I just don't have Brady and I don't have Dallas. That's all I'm going to say, baby. If you want to direct message me, Detroit Aaron, because I respect you a lot, I'll tell you. It's not going to. I've done a really detailed code on who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. I think I've nailed it. Yeah, Astros will probably win the MLB. I had Mets or Astros. Mets have gone. Like a big shock. They were the first team, I think, ever to go out in that playoff game after winning 100 regular season games, which is your 10 times 10. But yeah, I had Mets. Then I said Mets or Astros. I said it's not going to be the Dodgers and it's not going to be the Yankees. So yeah, I think probably Houston. They've got a great riddle. It's all connected to natural disasters, which is not really a good sign for us, really. You've had futures on Astros since June. Fantastic, mate. I think you've got that wrapped up. Today, 8 days since the GOAT's last shot. Maybe I'm dwelling on him too much. Am I scapegoating? Wow. I was just saying how Washington and Chicago became 2-4 in the NFL. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. 2 times 4 is 8. So there's your 8, 8, 8, 8. Thank you for that, because the whole code was about Michael Jordan and Kobe. So yeah, yesterday was good for some people in my community. They got on United in play and they got on Washington. I told you I don't code every single day now for sports. I'll just do what feels right. And people are getting better now at picking the games that they like, and they're not forcing it. Like the Dodgers Padres game, which had loads for both. People were just like, I'll stay off this game until there's something clean. Smart move. Smart, disciplined move. You don't have to bet every single day, do you? Brady losing to the Steelers. I haven't looked into the NFL this weekend. But that'll be a big shock, won't it? But again, it's all about the numbers. It don't matter if a team's lost the first 5 and the other team's won 5. If the code is for that team to lose, the favorite to lose, they'll lose. And I don't believe that they actually change the outcome. I think they can legally change the outcome. I don't think they do. Because when you study the history of these codes and the connections, there's no way they're just changing it last minute. I think they can add entertainment and drama to the spectacle, because imagine you know the outcome, like you know who's going to win. And maybe it's just the score that is going to be that score. It will be that score. That team's going to win, and it's going to be, I don't know, let's say it was the 12-7. You know it's going to be that score, no matter what. 100% it's ending 12-7 to Washington. But you can have a say in the drama. There'll be a way that you can have a say in it. All right? Who knows how they're doing it, or if magic's involved. I don't know. But I don't think they actually change the outcome of the winner or the loser. They can't. They don't have that power to do that. They're not in people's ears saying, all right, throw a pick now. I think there's definitely some sort of supernatural element to it. That's why these elite athletes do the most ridiculous things. And it looks like it's intentional by them. I think that they're being controlled, just like when we play FIFA. When you play Madden or FIFA, you're controlling the player, aren't you? Who knows what? So when you're playing on FIFA, the video game, and you've got all these players, and you're controlling the player. So who's missing that open goal on FIFA? You or the player on the screen? Who's missing it? EA Sports is in the game. They told you. Tell you the truth. So that's something to ponder. Forest to win this weekend to go to 8 points exactly 8 weeks before Cooper's birthday. Ooh. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. I want to see the games first. Just let me have a little gander. Obviously, everyone cares. Sometimes you've got to do this as well, guys. If you want a code, stay off that big, huge game. All right? Everyone's going to be looking at a Liverpool City, Liverpool City, Liverpool City. Have a little look at a game that nobody cares about. Fulham Bournemouth. Nobody cares about it. Like Wolves Forest. No one cares about it unless you support them. But everyone wants to code the big game. I will say this. I'll be incredibly shocked if Man United don't beat Newcastle. I'll be incredibly shocked because that 18 points, Ronaldo signed for Man United at 18. 18 years later, he re-signed for them. It'll be the 9th game, 6 wins, down 3 losses. There's your 369, which is huge. Then they'll get to 18 points, which is 9. 1 + 8. So I'll be majorly shocked, but I haven't done enough coding into this game, but I'll be majorly shocked if Man United don't beat Newcastle. Remember, Ronaldo's second debut for Man United was against Newcastle in a 4-1 win, which was on 9/11. Like I said, it would be. Man United 5th now, Newcastle 6th. There's your 56. Manchester equals 56. Old Trafford equals 56. Church of Satan, 56, founded 56 years ago. So I think United win that. Looking over that. Tottenham Everton. Let me have a little goose at that. Tottenham on 20 points. Everton. I know, like Lampard, when he played for Chelsea, would always destroy Spurs. Chelsea would always go to Spurs and beat them, but now he's obviously coaching for Everton. Like, nothing major is screaming at me here, other than the potential draw. Something I've seen with a draw, but I'm not sure what the odds are saying. I'll have to look into that. The odds, guys, enormous. After 85 minutes, Man United were evens. 5 minutes of regulation left, they were evens to win last night. So if Everton draw, I think they become 2-5-3. Yeah, they do. 22nd triangular number. Remember, Harry Kane was born exactly 22 weeks after Bobby Moore died. The upcoming World Cup's the 22nd edition. It's 2022. And Tottenham will get to 21 points, which we know is a huge number with these people. Brady retired on 2-1. And 7-3 in Super Bowls, the 21st year, the 21st century, and 73 is the 21st prime. Spurs draw, they'll become 6-3-1, which is the 115th prime. Masonic is 115, so is Lucifer. So just looking over that quick game, it looks like Spurs are drawing. I don't know if they're home or away. Oh, they're at home. Probability of a draw, 21%. Spurs, 64% chance. All these odds don't mean anything with the probability, in my opinion. Not the probability, but the actual odds have a say and more in play. All right, it's generally the in-play odds. So, for example, let me give you an example. I'll give you an example. Say Liverpool are at home and they're minus 300 to win the game at home. And they go down 1-0 after 10 minutes to Wolves. And then they become minus 250 to win, even though they're a goal down. They've won the game. If Liverpool are minus 300 home to Wolves, they go 1-0 down after 10 minutes. And then Liverpool become like even money or higher, they're not winning the game. It's so obvious. You can figure it out. That's why when you've seen me do my in-play Premier League predictions during the games, I tell you what's going to happen. I look at the odds movement. It's the best thing you can do in play. So don't hammer all your money pre-game. All right, always have a bit in your kiddie if you're going to bet during it. Oh, here goes the dating sites. Every time I pull out amazing advice, they appear, don't they? Tinder, hot, best adult dating. Off you go, son. Jokers, eh? So, quick question, Adam. Do you believe in the Matrix or the Bible? I believe in God. I believe Satan's created a matrix. I believe Earth is his realm, and biblically, we're told that this realm that we're living in is being controlled by Satan, and he's come up with the matrix. It's tricked many people. His ones and zeros. Satan gets you 10. So I believe in God. I believe Jesus will return and get his crown back. That's what all this corona's been about, not the royal family, about Jesus getting his crown, the King of Kings. And it'll happen in our lifetime, and bring it on. But before that, Satan's going to have full control, and you're going to know. Well, you can see now. It's happening now. It's all happening now. I think he's reigning right now, to be honest with you. And if you actually sit down and break it all down, it's all there biblically and in the book of Revelation. Everything that's stated in it is happening pretty much. Just waiting on the Antichrist to rise. Liverpool 2, Man City 8. Nah, they're not going to do that. That would get rid of Klopp, and he'll be there till the end of the season. Then he'll lose his job, and he'll probably walk away out of respect. I don't think they fire him. They'll probably walk away. Who knows? He might become the Germany head coach, but I think he goes to Celtic at some point. Black Adam, Devontae Adam pushes photographer. The Rock Johnson, Randy Johnson used to do rock concert photography. Now doing NFL photography. I have The Rock dying in a ritual February the 8th. Wow. And I've got Prince Charles going next year. I don't know about The Rock. I don't know. Again, Jesus is known as The Rock. So he's just infiltrated it. He's another one who does the devil horns all the time. The Brahma Bull. Dwayne Johnson, who doesn't have a Johnson. Okay, I do believe in Jesus myself, so I'll continue to listen. This is very interesting. I hope you find it interesting. I've done lots of videos about Jesus. I've wrote songs. I've done poetry about it, inspirational speeches about Jesus. I think the best thing that's ever happened in my life was finding Jesus. Because for 33 years, 34 years, I didn't believe in Jesus or God or the afterlife. I didn't believe in anything. I just thought he died. That's all I thought. And that's Satan. Satan had me thinking like that. He had me in love with the world. It's why I had a massive ego. And that's changed. So this knowledge helped me find Jesus. I'm eternally grateful for that. That's why I have no fear of anything or anyone. I'm not obsessed by materialism. I just go about my business. I'm a good guy, and I'm smart, and I share my knowledge with people. I share my talents with other people. But the best thing that I have in my life is Jesus. But it don't mean I preach. I'm not praying every 5 seconds. All right. I'm not doing everything the Bible tells me to do. I won't do that. I ain't playing along with that game either. The biggest thing you need to have is faith and belief. We're going to make mistakes. I'm not going to be a martyr and live this so-called perfect existence. It's impossible because we're living in a satanic realm. You can't be an angel here and be perfect within this realm. Set up that way. You don't have to play along with it. Adam, are you speaking the truth? I can't imagine you not feeling the divine. What is the truth? I don't know how many times I have to say that. What's the truth? I say you got to find your own truth. They say Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. When it comes to the truth, that's why I don't like when people say, can you prove it? Can you prove Jesus exists? Can you prove sports are rigged? Can you prove that person is inverted? Can you prove they worship the devil? I can't. I'll just speak my truth, and I often back it up with images, with numbers, with knowledge, with the fact that I predict so many things before they happen. But what's the truth, mate? When you ask me, am I speaking the truth? Hey, Christian. Hey, Yorek. How we doing? You've got to use your discernment. You've got to find your own way in this world as well. To be honest with you, you have to find your own way. You can have people guide you and give you advice, but the ultimate final decision is yours as to what you believe, how you behave, what you give your energy to, and what you gamble on, how you treat your wife or husband. That's on you. What about New Zealand beating Leeds Rhinos 74-0? The Kiwis dish out a record beating. 74, guys. That's the age that Charles is going to die. Mark my words. That's why they had this ridiculous game where the Kiwis played the Leeds Rhinos. They beat them 74-0. It's a huge number. Lucifer's 74. Jesus Christ is 74 in Gematria. Jesus is 74. Independence Day is on July the 4th because they've infiltrated that 74 number. 7 plus 4 is 11. That's the only slight thing I see for Brady. If he gets to the Super Bowl, drop to 7-4. Because there's not a chance he goes 8-3 for his birthday. They're not that ridiculous where they'll give you it that easy. Yeah, William will replace him, who a lot of people say is the Antichrist. Who knows? But I just think Charles goes at 74, and then people will just tell me, well, that's pretty old, isn't it? He died of old age. It's like, yeah, well, if you think about their genes, Elizabeth's mother lived to 101. Philip, 99. Elizabeth, 96. So if Charles goes at 74, that's technically very young. And I told you, in regards to being the king, he was put on the throne at the latest time ever. He's not the oldest ever king, but the age in which he became the king is a record. And he'll be one of the shortest spans ever, in my opinion. But we'll see. And I ain't going to go for a date. I just think he goes in 2023 at 74. I've got loads of reasons why. Who knows? I called the Queen. Maybe I'll get the King as well. And it's so funny that for Halloween I dressed as the Joker. I'm like a deck of cards, baby. Woo woo! 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. 4 seasons, 4 suits. Something deep. That's why Decode Reality always talks about you playing cards and all of that. Brady staying in 47 playoff wins, 383 games, 3rd week next year, September 24th. Nice. Charles became king, 8-9. The coronation is 5-6, 240 days after 8-9. Can die in 2024. I don't think so. He might die February the 4th. So he turns 74 November the 14th. He could go February the 4th. Remember, Elizabeth died 8-9, the 24th prime. He could go February the 4th, but I ain't going to be doing that again where I'm going for the exact day, saying he's going at 74. And again, he could go at 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. He could go at 73. He could go at 100. It's not going to be a lucky guess if he goes at 74. Not going to be a lucky guess. You've got loads of stuff that indicate it. And 7 is the 4th prime, like the 4 horsemen. Revelation 5-6 all connects to the 7s and the 4s. So that's why he's getting coronated on 5-6, because I've told you Revelation 5-6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes. 7's the 4th prime. This guy's going, guys, at 74. He's getting coronated on 5-6, because what I just read out was Revelation 5-6, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. It is why Philip and Elizabeth had 4 children. It's why Elizabeth's jubilee lasted 4 days. It's why the United Kingdom is made up of 4 countries and their dialing code is +44. Okay, in the book of Revelation, it talks about how basically death can take out a fourth or quarter of the world, which is 25%, which goes back to all the 25s that I've been talking about. Ronaldo born 2-5, Neymar 2-5, Brady coming back from 25 points down on 2-5 to win the Super Bowl. Van Bronckhorst, the Rangers coach, born on 2-5. It's big. That's what she said. Ooh, so you think God comes back and stops all the evildoers? It's not God, it's Jesus. Well, I guess Jesus technically is God in my opinion, but it's not so much that he's going to come back and stop all the evildoers. There'll be judgment day. We're all going to be judged. The world as we know it will get absolutely destroyed. Study Sodom and Gomorrah and you'll know what I'm talking about. Sodom and Gomorrah. The world will get absolutely wiped out. And I ain't afraid of that because I know I ain't dying. I ain't afraid of my house getting taken down or I'm not attached to anything materialistic. My spirit's so powerful, but I believe Jesus will come and judge us all. And I don't see that as a negative. I think if you're scared of that, you might have to ask yourself why. My tribe got my back. Excellent. It's really important during these times, I think, to have people you're really close to and look after them and be nice to them and not fight with them. Try and enjoy every day because I'm telling you, next year is going to be a wild ride. I don't think I'll have a platform next year. It's another prediction. I don't think I'll have a platform. So enjoy me whilst you have me. And that ain't me giving it up. I'll never give it up. It's not in my DNA. But I don't think next year I'll have a platform. Are you a gambler? I was. I have to tell this story all the time because I'm getting new people following me. By the way, I got to 6,000. Thank you. It's not a lot, but it's nice. It's nice to see. I know it's just numbers in regards to the algorithm. It's nonsense anyway, but it's kind of like a pat on the back, getting an extra 1,000 or whatever. So, do I gamble? No. Did I? Yes. Did I gamble big money? Yes. Thousands a day. Did I do really well gambling? Yes. I won a ton of money where I didn't have to work. I didn't have a job. Basically, I had Patreon and I was gambling. I was making a ton of money through doing it, through betting in play, through my knowledge. But I gave up my life. I've said all of this now. I never met anybody. I wasn't exercising. I gave up coaching. I just stayed at home. I coded. I watched sports. I gambled. And then I'd repeat. And then I'd be communicating with other people doing similar things. And then I am a really bad loser. Now, I didn't lose often, but when I did, I'm a really, really terrible loser. I'm aware of that. I don't think I'll ever change. And that was just getting to me. If I ever lost, it would wind me up. And I thought, what am I doing here? I'm making all this money. I don't care really that much about it. I don't know what to do with it. And I've got no social life. So I stopped gambling. I don't promote gambling. You might say I am. No, I reveal deception with the codes. And if people do gamble, I'll say, well done. I'm happy if they win. I don't say well done for gambling. If they win and they're betting responsibly and they're not getting addicted, I say, all right, good for you. A bit of extra money in the matrix. I don't gamble, but I did. I've now used that sacred energy for sharing this knowledge rather than for selfish purposes and me making $5,000 a month, whatever it was from gambling. It's great, but for what? And at that time, I was living in this shitty apartment. Like, what am I even doing? Why am I here? I just had an epiphany, and it was my dad. When he asked me, are you happy? I said, he's still making all that money. I said, yes. But are you happy, Ads? I said, no. And I was like, I'm pretty much my whole life of being happy. And he went, you need to stop gambling then. I was like, okay. And it was hard, man. It's the closest thing I've ever had to an addiction, other than maybe football. Pretty addicted to that. But it's like every day I was, because that's what they do by design. It's like if you're not coding a football game, there's an NFL game on, there's an NHL, or there's an MLB, or there's NBA. And I've got knowledge of all these sports, so I just became, oh, here we go, consumed by it all. And I don't want any of you um, to get to that point where it takes over um, your life, because that's what Satan wants. He's fine with you winning a bit of money as long as you're giving all your energy to him. And that's what these pro sports are. So I was like, I'm going to coach again. It's my biggest gift is coaching. I'm going to get really fit again. I'm going to do things that I enjoy. I'm going to interact with people like I always have done, make people laugh. And what a wonderful life since then. But I wasn't miserable gambling. I just was like, geez, man. Just sat in front of a screen. How pathetic. I'll admit I'm addicted to gambling. The worst thing that can happen when you first start out is when you start to think it's easy. You can definitely become a little bit carried away when you win. And that's why, like in gambling, they give you free spins and stuff like that. Or they'll say, okay, bet this amount. Like, something ridiculous, like both teams get one corner in a game. So you win it and you get that buzz. And then, the people who are truly addicted, I feel for them. I was never at that point, like where I was truly addicted. Like I needed to do it. I needed that next fix. Like, I was smart. I knew when to cash out. I often would cash out. I'd cover myself. I would say there was only a couple of times where I was chasing my money, and that is the worst thing. That's the worst thing when you're chasing it. Say if you lose $1,000 and you go, right, well, I'm going to bet on it. This is going to hit. I'm going to win it back. That loses you $2,000 down. Then you're betting $2,000 to win the $2,000 back. Then you're $4,000 down, and you're like, what just happened? And that happens to a lot of people, especially on these like roulette machines. They throw crazy money on it and think eventually it's going to hit. Eventually it's going to hit on red. And then you're like, wait, I've just lost everything. I'll tell you the story about my mate at university. He got his student loan for the year. I think it was $3,500. And he went to the bookies and he put it all on red and it was black. And he lost $3,500 in a spin. And then he quit college. It can ruin you. Gambling is the devil. It is. But everything's balanced with it. My best example, I'm not going to do like Zach Hubbard, like Big Al, do $5 parlays, 17 team accumulators. Like, that's nonsense. But I will say this, like, if you gamble, don't be betting like $1 on a team that's even money. It's just not worth the time or the energy. Don't be betting money you can't afford. Just find that little balance. Come up with a percentage you're willing to bet. Whether it's 5% or 3 or 10, whatever it is, and stick to that. And a lot of people can do that, which is good. Discipline, you have a choice. But again, if you're waking up in the morning and the first thing you're thinking about is gambling, you're addicted. England versus Argentina. What, for the World Cup final? There's a good chance. Starts to dictate your life. I met a man who lost his whole life pretty much, just his house, his wife, his kids, everything, and was homeless. It's definitely devil's work. Yeah. So at the roulette table, you add up the numbers, it's 666. I'm going to go in about 5 minutes because I'm actually really hungry. See you in the reception at 3 p.m. It's my old math teacher. Okay. Let me just say okay to him. All right, mate. Sounds good. I'll see you 3 p.m. I'm not even sure where the reception is at that school anymore. It's like a new building. I'll get there a little bit earlier. Quitting college is the best thing you could ever do. I agree. Well, it's not the best thing you can ever do. That's a slight exaggeration, but it's definitely probably a blessing in disguise. The old famous idiom. What happened to him? He lost that $3,500 in seconds, but at least he didn't stay for 3 years, where he would have probably got 10, 15 grand in debt or more, depending on what his course was. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't the same as mine, I don't think. So yeah, I don't really know him anymore. He was like, just had that friend at the beginning. He wasn't like close to me. Just before we got the loans and stuff. But yeah, it's you go to college, you get your little piece of paper, and you leave in debt more often than not. So you're already playing catch up in the matrix. And then they have you usually then for the rest of your life, because then you get your house and you do the same thing for 25 years probably. Just, yeah, don't worry too much about your pension and stuff that they can take off you whenever they want either. If you're thinking about that. Enjoy your life, guys. It could be gone tomorrow. It could be gone tomorrow. Enjoy it. Again, there's a lot of beauty to this world. Satan may be in charge of it. It's his realm, but still a lot of beauty here. Why do I think I want to have a platform in 2023? I've just done all these codes for 2023 where the economy is going to crash. I think that by 2023 as well, there's going to be all of this getting chips and stuff, and then you won't be able to participate in society without it. I think that's literally could be around the corner. Not in 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years. I think you can see it right now with anybody who's going against the mainstream are getting reported, are having the platforms taken down. I got my Patreon taken down, $2,500 stolen from me, lost 303 patrons, gone, no warning, did nothing wrong. So I think that will happen. I know by 2023, the level I'm going to be at, they're not going to want people like me on a platform. Every passing day now, it's getting harder and harder to speak your mind. Really hard to speak your mind. Like, if I could truly speak my mind, there's a million more things I can say. That's why I would love to be on stage and speak my mind. But again, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. There's a guy in Australia, my mate Dan, he said his friend who does similar work to me just got arrested for speaking the truth. He got arrested. He's in jail. And I can't remember exactly what it was. For spreading misinformation. He got put in jail. So, what's that craving behind you? I don't know. This? I don't know. This was here when we bought the house. I don't even know what it is. It looks like you can lift it up. It almost looks like a genie in a bottle or something. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. Speaking the truth can get you killed. Yep. Yep. Just again, study Jesus Christ. Why he was hated. Because of his message. Simple as that. People like me, people call me a prophet now. I very well probably am at this point. You're just not afraid of it. Why fear death? Remember my song? Why I fear death when we cannot die. What did I say? It's time to realize that we've got 3 eyes or something. I can't remember what I wrote, but why fear death when we cannot die? So I'll keep doing what I'm doing. As long as I have a platform, I've told you, as long as I have a platform and this knowledge, I'll keep doing it. I've had people threaten me. I told you, 2 people threatened to shoot me. Never shot me, did they? So let them threaten me and all of this. Like, I'm doing nothing wrong. The more people target me and do this to me means I'm on the right path. When Patreon removed my platform, I knew I was on the right path. I didn't cry and bitch about it. I knew I was on the right path. I think if they're keeping all your stuff up in general, then you're probably not making much of an impact. So, again, free speech is slowly dying because we've allowed that to happen. Us. I'm not going to keep blaming Satan and satanic puppets anymore. It's us as well. That we play along. And we're so accepting and we're so naive in general. And I was for the majority of my life so focused on me. We've allowed this to happen. And only we can stop it from getting completely out of control, where you may be in your own house having a conversation and you may get fined. Yes, you may get fined. They're putting cameras everywhere and we accept it. And that you say something you're not supposed to say. Basically, there goes your social credit system, and it'll be in your own house as well. I've seen like little short movies about it. And when I first watched them, I was like, this is scary, man. Like, a guy swore in his own house and he got fined for swearing. That is a $50 fine for obscene language. And like, what the fuck? Oh, that is a fine. So it's like, and then he just kept getting fined because he kept swearing. It's like he couldn't swear in his own house. It will get to that point if we allow it. And that's when it's like, I'm not going to say what's the point in living, but if you're completely being controlled, it's like, that's not why we're here. That would be Satan. Wants to control us in every possible way. He's controlled us through finances, still continues to do that. He's controlled us through the government, through setting up the police and things like that. Next level is to completely like control this. He's already doing that with most people in the world. When you actually break it all down, it's pretty much dictating how they see the world, and it's hard to deny. That's why so many people think the same way, and they're so close-minded because they're being controlled by demonic entities. In my opinion, doesn't mean they're like bad people, but they're just so gone, like the zombies. All right. I'd scoop you up, stick you in a bath surrounded by candles with your shorts on, walk out the door and throw a soccer ball. Well, I thought that was going to get a bit sexual then, and then you threw in the soccer ball. So you're going to put me in a bath and surround me with candles, baby? Ooh, ooh. Play some music in the background. I haven't had a bath forever, actually. I might have one before I go. I've not had a bath for I don't know how long. And yes, I've had a shower. No, I don't stink. I just haven't had a bath for, I don't even know. I think the last time I had a bath was in the Ritz. Went to the Ritz in Vail in Colorado, big time. I think I just got in the bath. Swearing in your own house is like a tree falling in the woods. No one hears it unless someone is there watching on a camera. Yep, that's true. Haaland's cousin, check him out. And he a really good footballer as well, supposedly. I think Haaland's cousin. Something not quite right about that Haaland family, is there? Right, stomach's rumbling, guys. Is it rugby? Let me have a little look at Haaland's cousin before I go then. Albert Haaland. Yeah, he's a football player. He plays for Molde, just like Erling did. He's 1,000 duped into sharing an incredible goal by Haaland's cousin. He's 18. He plays for Molde. That's who your boy played for, Erling. And he looks just like him. So again, like, is Satan doing this? Like, this Haaland, it's not a normal person, is it? Haaland's not a normal person. He's not a normal person. They've told us that now, that he's not human. I don't know how many times. But who's doing it? I don't know. I don't know. We're so far behind those guys with what they're able to do and what this reality truly is. I just don't think this Haaland is a normal person who's just born in Norway and is a gifted footballer. I don't think Zlatan's a legit person as well. There's something not right with him. With Zlatan, I always felt something about him was a bit off before I even had an awakening. And even now, he's still flying. Is Ibrahimovic just doesn't age? Body gets better every second of the day. It's 41. He's playing for AC Milan, who just won the Serie A title. They're playing in the Champions League, and the guy's 41 and is still a beast and dominating. Calls himself the Lion, doesn't he? He always does the Baphomet pose, by the way, Zlatan. He's always doing that when he scores. And he's from Scandinavia as well, just like Haaland. He's Swedish, isn't he? Zlatan. I definitely have to go now, guys. I appreciate you all. I'm off to go eat some food before I play this football game. Take care. Thanks to everyone in my community. Thanks to all of you who are in the chat today. Appreciate you all. Much love, Divine Feminine Living UK, baby. And all of you. I'm off to go get some grub. Earned it after that chest workout with my dad, Popeye. All right, guys. Take care. Love, respect to all of you. And I'll be in Mexico next week. So maybe my live streams have a little bit more energy to them because I'm starting to get a little bit like run down and cold and tired. I don't know if my energy is as high as it usually is. I don't think it is because I can feel like I'm not as energetic in my general way of life. So take care. Speak to you all soon. And much love. Have a great Friday.